Wow, are we actually going live on time?
Are we? Wasn't
Well,
it
consider
2 minutes ago?
no, I set this for 9:45 and we're launching like 9:45 right on the dot.
Jesus,
It's
we are
probably because we're not doing a beer analysis 101 tonight. We're actually doing a duo review here on Maxwell Starr's Beer Reviews. First time I've done one of these live beer reviews in a while. It's kind of impromptu because the only person that showed up tonight was Greg.
Sorry, Nick, can't make it. See you later.
Yeah, fuck you. All right, tonight we're going to take a look at a beer that actually also comes from Great Lakes Brewing. We'll do Karma Citra another time. This is Octopus Wants to Fight IPA. Reading the can here, just like Greg, our pet octopus is a bit of a jerk. He's that guy who loves a couple, who has a couple, then either yells at you how much he loves you or threatens to fight you. So we brewed this IPA with 8 varieties of hops and 8 varieties of malt, targeted 88 IBUs and 8.8% Pilsen. Sadly, when he found out that we fabricated all the above info, it only made him more volatile. We are starting to realize the octopus was a poor choice for a pet. Yeah, so it is 88 IBUs, but it's only 6.28% ABV here. At least it is now. So
I wish this was 8.8%. That would be great if it was.
First new. I'm not sure exactly what year. I found the webpage from when it was launched, but I can't see when it was. I don't know, Greg. How much do you know about this beer?
Well, I know it came out as a special release beer, kind of like what Karma Citra or Thrust are now, where it came out in fairly large quantity every once in a while. And then they just decided GLB never really had a regular IPA. They had Canuck, which is a pale ale. And then they had their rotating IPAs. So they finally decided, hey, we're going to make this a permanent addition to our lineup. Unfortunately, in the process, we lost Devil's Pale Ale, which I actually really liked.
Didn't they make Devil's Pale Ale again?
They do make it. They release it every October, but it used to be a regular beer of theirs, and now it's not, which I'm sad because I actually really like that beer. But I buy a bunch of it in October, so it's okay.
Yeah.
And then after a few years of that, they made it regular. I don't off the top of my head know if I had my cell phone with me. Actually, I can check them out.
Okay, I just looked at the Canadian Beer News. We're not BDU here. Canadian Beer News, Octopus Wants to Fight was launched in 2015 and then was released in cans to the LCBO in 2016, and now it's been more recently promoted to a year-round release at GLB. So you picked this up. You sent this to me. You picked this can up at the Great Lakes Brewing itself, right? Now, how fresh are these?
Well, let's look at the canning date. This is package. I'm going to say that looks like 10. Mine looks like 10/8/19. So beginning of October. So about a month old.
Yeah, mine's probably the same age as yours, but mine's so screwed up on the bottom here. I can't even fucking read it.
Up too. I'm looking at that. Looks approximately what it is. Ish.
All right. So let's crack these things open and give them a pour into our lovely glasses. I have my Trailway Teku here.
And this beer review, of course, is sponsored by Founders Brewing.
Shut up.
So, and Ewart was nice enough to provide this glass.
Did Ewart actually give you the Founders glass?
Yes, I am.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Ewart. Racist. All right. So look at that. That actually looks really nice. I got to say, as far as my history with this beer goes, I actually had this once at the Albino Island Beer Fest. I think it was part of my 2017 Supercut that I never published individual reviews of. Anybody wants to check out what my original thoughts back then were, you can go ahead and look. That looks very orange, yellow-orange kind of color. Very hazy appearance. Nice big puffy white head on top of it.
Oh, yeah.
That's really nice. I wasn't expecting it to be that hazy. I mean, everything is kind of all about the haze right now, the haze craze for days. But that looks the part. Like you pour that out, it's kind of what people would expect to get when they want to pour out like a New England style. Even though I don't think this is technically a New England style IPA. It's more West Coast, isn't it?
It's definitely not New England style. I don't know. We probably need Mr. Joe to come here and tell us the intricacies of which is West Coast, which is East Coast. From what I believe, I think it's supposed to be a little bit of a hybrid West Coast, East Coast. Probably leaning a little bit more towards East Coast.
Yeah.
But again, if Joe was here, he could come on here and probably tell me I'm wrong.
Great Lakes just advertises it as a unfiltered IPA, so
yeah, basically
it is what it is. All right, let's give it a whiff. Mm.
Oh, I just got it in my nose. Oh, dear God. Oh, this is humiliating. Oh, Nick, God, I'm so glad you're not recording this.
You're right. I'm getting get a little bits of passion fruit and pine.
Yeah, I get
very mellow.
I get mostly the fruits, probably passion fruit. Now that you've put it in my head, I get pineapple from this, but it's like
okay, I see that.
I hate it when beers put pineapple in it, but when I get a pineapple smell from the hops, I love it.
Yeah, it's like the pineapple smelling hops. It doesn't have that weird sweaty astringency you get out of getting like a real pineapple juice, and it doesn't smell like a pineapple beer, but it's got that kind of hints of pineapple tropical fruitiness.
Like you're not forcing the pineapple upon you.
Yeah, something like that. Not forcing it upon you. I'm thinking this now because I saw it written on a webpage here, and they're right. I do get this big, like, juicy fruit gum kind of smell. Remember juicy fruit gum? Goes right through you.
Oh, yeah.
Juicy fruit gonna move you.
Now that you put that in my head, I agree with you.
Yeah. Yeah, it smells really, really nice. All right. Down the hatch. Skål. Ooh, that's pithy.
Yum.
Not so much super resiny, although there's a bit of resin there. It's very juicy. It's very resiny. It's very pithy, like pithy, juicy, almost like a touch floral, with a lingering amount of earth in the back, earthy, almost sprucey.
Admittedly, mine has a little bit of a lingering
pine
taste to it.
It's a little lingering what?
Lingering bourbon taste, although then again, I was just drinking
bourbon. It might be just the bourbon.
Might be the bourbon I was just drinking.
You're a lingering bourbon.
Wow, I think that's complimentary. Thank you.
Well,
you really are the fun Nick.
You do tend to like them 12 to 18 years old. Yeah, so I'm getting a lot of as I drink it, it's very pithy, piney kind of coming out of this. It's actually not bad. It's very smooth. Not so much creamy, but effervescent to the point where it actually feels like it's going down quite easily.
See, as somebody who is a partaker in many GLB IPAs, I've always found this one to taste to me a little bit like a hybrid. I believe, I'm going by memory here. I'm sure I probably have it written in Untappd somewhere, but I believe this one always kind of like a mixture of My Bitter Wife and I'm going to say Karma Citra. Like you kind of had the bitterness, the pininess from My Bitter Wife mixed with the sort of more Karma Citra is basically more of a tropical fruit bomb, especially when you get it fresh. And to me, this has always kind of been a mixture of the two. And I've actually always really liked this. To me, it kind of is the best of both worlds to a degree.
Yeah, the only one of those two I've had is Karma Citra. Yeah, I guess it's got kind of similar qualities to it, doesn't it? Although I think Karma Citra brings a lot more like tropical fruit to the table.
Yeah, Karma Citra
the body and the mouthfeel is almost spot on.
Yeah, this one's more dank and this is more bitter as well. Karma Citra comes off as more of a sweet IPA.
Yeah, no, you're right. This one is very, very dank, like almost like wet basement hops.
But
this is really delicious, though. I'm not really crazy about IPAs that come off more resiny or pine forward, but this one just sits so easily on the tongue. It's just almost a joy to drink. This is actually quite soft and tasty, and it may be like it might have some lingering on pine and resin, but it's not like it's super bitter to the point where it's just like melting your tongue. It does it well. It does it quite right.
Yeah, and GLB is sort of known, or at least unofficially known. They tweak their recipes without necessarily telling people. I know they've done that with Canuck quite a bit over the years, and I believe they've done it with this. I don't actually know for sure that they have, but I think this is a better beer than it was a few years ago.
I'm going to agree. I remember vaguely amongst the 20-some beers that I tried at Chad's Fest there back in 2017, 2017. But this specific beer, it strikes me as being more impressive than it did back then. I think they have tweaked this, and I really don't have a whole lot of experience with this one, but I seem to be what I'm drinking now seems to be better than what I remembered.
Now, I will
Maybe-
say the one other caveat I will say, there's this weird thing about GLB for me is that every time I have a GLB beer on tap, I find it to be inferior to the canned version. I don't know why that is, but even something Canuck that I've had a million times, I don't really like it all that much on tap. Maybe they serve it too cold. I don't know. But in the can, I love it. So,
Oh.
That's something.
All right. So I think for a rating, I'm going to give that a 4.25 out of 5. I really like that. What do you think?
I love this beer. It's one of my favorite IPAs. Now, of course, I am biased towards GLB, so everyone understand that I'm going to overrate this. I'm giving it a 4.75 out of 5. I really like this beer. Jeez. I could give it a perfect rating, but I don't want to do that because I know Nick doesn't like doing that on his channel. But for an IPA, it's pretty close to perfect for me. And the fact that it's cheap, it's super accessible to me. I don't necessarily include that in my rating, but in the back of my mind, I always got to include that somehow. So, it's a super high score for me. It's that this and Canuck, you could basically just give me those for the rest of my life. I'd be relatively happy. Just maybe every once in a while, send me a Russian Imperial Stout, please. Thank you. But otherwise, I'm good.
Or that Beatrix coffee porter.
Oh, that's a good one.
That was good. That's probably the best one I've ever had from one of the best ones I've ever had from GLB. Anyway,
and you know what?
But these guys actually, I got to say, I really do like the beer that these guys make. There's hardly anything that really is bad, if at anything.
Yeah, and the Beatrix coffee porter, it's so under the radar because it wasn't an imperial stout, or sorry, an imperial porter.
But it tasted like spot on, like cold brew coffee. It was so good.
Dude, if they ever re-release Imperial Bout and it's as good as it was the first time they released it, guarantee you I'm sending those out because that was like Beatrix coffee porter, but Imperial. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. So I think I guess we got a 4.75 from Greg and a 4.25 out of 5 for me. I'm probably rating it a little too low, but who knows? I do really like this beer. This is actually really tasty, and thank you, Greg, for sending this to me. And
thank you Nick, for paying me back for it.
Yeah, there you go. And there'll probably be another opportunity for me to pay you to send me beer.
Well, I still got a weed beer in the fridge for you. So
a weed beer? Okay, we'll talk about that later. Anyway, I want to thank every one person that's watching right now, and no comments. I want to thank everybody for not commenting. Whatever. We're going to come back online with a live chat after this, but I want to thank everybody for watching this thing so far. Thanks, Greg, for coming on, for being a great sport and sticking with me through all the years.
I'm like that bad STD that the antibiotics just won't cure.
That's strangely accurate. All right, so I want to thank everybody for watching, and we'll chat with you folks later. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.